Hi, just on the Braai jacks. Now, if you clicked on the Braai jacks, awesome, because the Braai jacks has got a lot to offer, and I think a lot of people do not really understand how this particular item works. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with it. Fantastic, it's practical and it works easy. So what we're first going to do is inside the Braai jacks you'll find 8 clips. So what I'll do is what you basically need to do is take your grid. Now I have a grid that's not necessarily linked here on the front, mine takes out. You can put it into 2 different sides. Now you'll find the people's grids that are connected, not a problem, you just do exactly the same. The principle stays the same. So what I suggest is, with the Braai jacks, it has a high tensile spring in it. So what you need to do is open it up, put your 2 fingers as if you're going to throw darts. It's the simplest way I remember it. So all you need to do while it's open, take your grid, hook it in to the first clip, to the end, and then just pull it over one and it will stay. As simple as that. I'm going to do it again on the other side. You open it up, remember, and then what you will do is you hook it in. It only needs really one. You'll feel it when it gets nice and tight, and there it will stick. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to add this now on each corner, and this simply is going to be becoming the legs. So if I had to turn this around, now you can see it has a stable platform of 4 legs, but we don't want to stop there. We actually want to add this on the top part too. You'll see why I say that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do exactly the same as what I've demonstrated on the bottom part of the grid, and then you're going to have an idea of what I'm talking about. So here we go. They're all set in. So what I've done is I've given you the idea of, because remember my grids all slide in their handles due to the fact that I fit in your dishwasher, but I will show you that when you get and you clicked onto my grid. I will explain that to you. The nice thing is what I've done is I brought a prop like a lookalike kind of a chop, just to give you an idea what I'm talking about. So let's assume this is my cooking meat. So you add this on. So now the simple concept of this that really I think anybody would notice is that the fact that you can turn it and you can braai, because it stays on a stable platform. This is the nice thing about it. But now for me personally, I hardly cook like this, and in actual fact is most of the time I will cook next to a fire, because that just makes a lot more sense to me. You'll see what I mean by that. So the first thing I do is, instead of just doing the normal turnabout, I will simply have my fire here. So you can imagine for yourself now, we have a nice fire going. There's not a single coal yet. It's not a problem, because the simple fact that all you need to do is whatever you're cooking here is turn it on the side. So what you're indirectly doing, a lot of people will say, now, oh, that's how I do a rib. Yes, that's correct, but I just feel that you don't have to stop with ribs. And a lot of people can carry on. Whether you do chicken, it doesn't matter. Anything marinated, excuse me, would be the nice way to do this. So all you need to do literally is you just need to turn it, move it closer or further, depending on the amount of heat that you would like to get close to your meat. You know, very much depending on what you're cooking, whether you can do it this way. The principle really does stay the same. But I want you to get into this habit of turning and braaiing just on a very unique way. And you'll find that it doesn't matter what you cook, the longer it takes to cook, the better it tastes. That's my opinion. And the other thing that I would like to show you is, let's say you would just like to give yourself a bit of height on your standard grid. This is what I would advise. Simply take the one that you have on top. If yours are connected, you won't be able to do this. If you have one of these, yes, it is possible. Just turn it and slide the clips into between the other brackets. Now obviously what you've just created is you've given yourself a little bit of height. Obviously for the simple fact, if you want to keep something warm, optional, that's there to use. But now the other point is, I want to have an extra grid. Straight away, optional, have an extra grid. I want to do my steak? Yes, I can do it now. So that is the simple part of using braai jacks. But now there's one more trick that I kind of use a lot. Let's say you are having pork chops, and you have a steak and there's some fat on it, and the point is you want that fat nice and crispy. So what I would suggest you do is take a fat piece of your meat, put these, all I've done is I've moved it now closer to one another. I can actually do it with the ones that I had here with the same principle. I can move it there, or I can continue. It doesn't have to be necessarily on that corner. It can be in the middle, it can be on the side. And the reason why I want to do this now is I want to take my fat, I want to put it between the two, and that's the nice way for me to cook my fat nice and crispy without necessarily drying out my meat or ruining it. So there's a very good idea that I would strongly recommend for anybody using braai jacks.